Once upon a time, in the land of NTSC, where people drive on the right, and in the railway shed, at the time of 9 o'clock p.m., U.S. engines rest and tell a tale. Long ago, in San Francisco, there was a city trip, or dump, or Americans call, and in it is an academy, not for people, for monsters. The monsters have been living in it for years, from the 90s till they graduated, and they are called by their shape. A pink hairy ball with eyeballs in hands, an odd rabbit, and an upside down candy cane. They call themselves Icarus, Crumb, and Hoopina. They graduated from the academy, meaning they would leave the school, but still scare anybody. Where do they live, you may ask? They live in the woodland above the suburb called Lawndale, looking for anyone to scare. But there was one thing Mr. Grumble, their teacher, didn't tell them to scare in when they used to be in school, and this is where the hiding adventure would begin. One morning, in an empty house at the outskirts of Lawndale, Icarus was looking glum. It had been some time since they had been scaring on the school days, and at the beginning, on none. All he was doing was looking at a map Mr. Grumble missed. None of us monsters went to a bottom continent that's called Australia. Oh, what I do like is the snakes in the bushes. Hoopina had been standing at the fence waiting to see a human to walk to his or her door. Both Hoopus and Icarus was not with her, nor was Crumb. He was in the kitchen making the hot mud pies he picked from a back garden. So she went up to the attic to find him. Mud, blood is mud. Nothing quite like it for cooling the blood. I like that song, especially when it's got mud in it. Mud pie, blood is mud pie. Nothing quite like it for boiling the spy. Icky, where are you? You're supposed to scare a human, she called. I've been looking through the window for one, but none came here. All I saw was a red van that didn't look like a white van, came the muffled reply. He's up to something besides looking at the top floor, said Hoopina suspiciously. I think he was meaning a red van marked Royal Mail, and he might be looking for the bottom continent Mr. Grumble missed, said Crumb. And what, pray tell, can he mean by, "Oh, teacher, missing what continent?" asked cleaner.
Guys, I want food. I need to think,
said Icarus. Swoop had the mud pies with what we never eat, like bugs. Icarus finished, then went back to the attic. Cleaner looked up when he sped off. He's trying to trick my eyes. What is he playing at? Icarus was back at his map. He set up my continent, looking at one small island.
That's what I want to pick for the scare. If we can just find a way to get there.
Icarus caught you red-handed. That was rude of you to finish tea quickly. What are you playing at? Oh, cleaner. Cleaner eyed a secret leak on the floor when finding the attic door. Oh, just my secret. I just picked this continent Mr. Gumble didn't pick when we were at school. He probably hasn't heard about it for decades, since I met you with a tattered blue hat. There's this continent that's called Australia, plus this one called Tasmania. And besides scaring in it, I was thinking of a holiday spot like, well, a dumb people call the Tip. It's got a lot of the sick junk that we eat, plus there's this odd hidden value that we have not seen before. It's called the Cradle Value, Icarus confessed. It has a hidden jungle full of monsters that eat garbage. I think I remember the name in the museum, titled Dinosaur. They're called dinosaurs, hidden from people who try to hunt them. But how we get to the bottom continent is beyond toilet network. I think we need a quick way of traveling, and it would mean yourself part of it. I understand the plot, but you should apologize, said Cleaner, not convinced.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I was excited to find what Mr. Gumble didn't pick. We might need a plan on how to get to Tasmania, and it would mean us on 4 wheels, said Icarus. Guys, we should get some sleep if we want to do an sea scare, said Crumb, who butted in.
Huh?
Huh? Cleaner, you've been looking in that box of toy cars I bought in for a minute. I might tell you the next morning. I've got a model we should make. The next morning at breakfast, we had a plan set up. This is what we never thought to have, a drive-in. But it wasn't either Icarus or Crumb to be driver. It was Cleaner as she was tall enough to reach the paddles.
This is a car, but it's a small one, big enough for us to sit in. I think humans call it a mini miner. What with its size, it can fit into anything, but the thing is, we need to have it maintained so anyone wouldn't do it's rubbish, said Nicholas.
What's it got to do with me as the tallest of us in a small bunch? Asked Upina.
You can drive it, can you?
Oh, well, I've never tried it, but I can learn. When you said maintain, you mean the backlights?
Yeah.
And who needs a review method when you got me as back eyes? I can see back trouble, said Crumb.
We'll start with the practice drive, doing the shift to this suburb.
At a taxi,
There's a tunnel in another called Whistling, spotting a black engine. He and his car decided to have a look, ending up through some buffers. It's hard to believe, but they're untouchable, said Nicholas.
We haven't its existence. Perhaps we can try the route. That's in a suburb with a village. It's called Gumbasha. But first, we need gas. I happened to find some in a garage. 2 of them, said Upina.
Let's get it built up.
So we began building the menu with testing the front and back lights as well as the indicators. Let's see what this brick can do. Guide me while I follow these number stand signs called speed limits, said Upina.
Back eyes checking,
said Crumb.
Map's ready. Let's hit
The road to reach it speeds. To Gumbasha first, said Nicholas.
By the way, remember that other car with a car stick? I thought we'd give this car one called an automatic stick.
1, 2, 3, and D for drive. N, O, O, P, park. I think I understand its use. Hang tight. With a turn of a key, we began driving the menu away from the woodland house onto the open, with the map opened up for directions. We felt nervous when beginning to cope with the traffic, which we saw to their surprise. It seemed quite easy. Upina had been checking the surroundings, wondering if any of the people who hooked us we didn't. We need to check for police cars. We can stop illegal vehicles from the scrapyards. Drive with the traffic lights. They're at red. Whispered Nicholas. It's key. That means we're to... Aha! There's the country. Let's get on it, Pina. There's one police car. Get hidden. It might get on to us in a minute. A police car was on patrol, looking for the criminal on the run and illegal vehicles running. It was a worrying sight for her. Cut it out, Pina. He's not even looking at us. I'm keeping my cool. If we see a number plate, they're coming behind us, but haven't got their lights on. Just keep in the speed limit. We got into the country, coming across fields of crops, but Crumb checked the police car if it left them a rule. It didn't. Who began telling Upina to hide the menu somewhere in the field. There's a jeep left hoop in there, said he. Hide in there with anything thick, added Nicholas. It was a cool shot when we got off the roof. Upina parked the menu, finding some thick stems of corn ready to be harvested, and the three of them waited for the police car to pass. It did not turn into the hiding place. Ixus, we've meted the car, and the journey went well with the traffic, but we do have one important thing, such as a driver's license. Upina managed to catch a breath. I've made one when we built the car. I thought of it before we left the woodland house, said Nicholas. So it's important, but you need to keep the car hidden at all costs when reaching any destination. I think I'm getting hungry from the drive, said Crumb. I'll just get us back on the roof. I want someone who does formations like moi. Grumble didn't pick it either. So we got back on the roof again. A mile later, we reached a gateway with a drive to water to be a farm. It had a sign saying to get them interested. Gumby's farm and stoop. I think this is where we can hide the car in. Let's ask him for directions, said Upina. There's lots of compost put at the farm. We can eat it, said Crumb. Look, there's someone, said Icarus. He took the menu up to the barn. The green figure looked up at the vehicle. He was surprised to find it containing some creatures he didn't know. Oh! His friends looked up as well. Upina, said Gumby, along with Icarus and Crumb. What are you monsters doing in the farm? Hello, Gumby. We need your help in directions, but we prefer this talk not outside. And the menu hidden below had a police car hunting it, said Upina. I can see what you mean. I saw that police car driving past us. We do see them patrolling in this part of the country, said Gumby. I hope we eat food, but you too. Except you eat garbage. We got some mess you can feast on. It's from a Christmas party, said Pookie. He'd be honored, said Icarus. Compost! Oh, guys, where's the compost? Oh, there isn't a bug in it. No, Crumb, that compost's for the plants. Besides, there's none left in the compost bin, said Ghoul. Oh, my mud. We make mud pies with bugs. They're popular, said Crumb. I've discovered a shed. It's like the minute in it. He hit the menu, then settled for lunch. Gumby explained the directions, whilst drawing a second map so we can remember when we come back. Suddenly, before we would leave, we heard a siren, which made them look to the doorway of the barn. Guys, listen, I heard a car, said Pookie. They then looked to the gateway, to the open wall. To the harbour, they recognized the same police car that was standing there, as if it was waiting for the miller to come out at it. What was that? We need to make the leave complicated for them, so we can leave in peace. I would think we should sleep and then leave at night. Do you where we can sleep, Gumby? We see another shed with the barn, said Icarus. I think you can sleep in them. Just sleep on the floor. Just on your car seats. Just as long as Crumb doesn't stink it. Police forces have dogs to hunt his scent, said Gumbo. We'll pretend we didn't see you. Besides, they'll give up if you come out thinking we were chasing something fiction. He pushed the menu in the shed, engine off, so as not to alert the police car. Then we slept, waiting for the evening to come. Police Zeus. Midnight came. The monsters decided to continue the journey. Ictus checked the gateway, saw nothing, then got back in the menu.
Nothing.
Police Zeus. They then checked the open room. When reaching it, looking left or right for the police car. Crumsby turned right, looked at the other gateway to the field they left from, thinking if the stalker had thought up the smarter way. Even if they checked the inside of the car, they would have to scare them. There wasn't any sign of it, getting them to think it was empty. They arrived at the village, looking for another gateway to another field, with tracks on a hill. Ictus saw the gate, said to Uplina to stop so he could open it, and let her drive through before he would shut it. 1 minute later, we reached the top, spotting a suburb of a desert. Ictus didn't count on this. He had a flashback on when he was in it with another monster that was an ugly bee. His complaints didn't begin when his eyes caught sight of an inner drive with a sign. Uplina and Crumb saw the too, which gave them excitement. It said Route 66.
Aha! What a piece of luck this is.
What we want to continue the journey to Whistling.
An inner road that can keep us hidden.
We should find our ticket to leave America, said Ictus. He entered it and began looking for the destination to keep up with the move. The highway was becoming far away, and we just began missing a distant siren noise that was to come on the trail. Crumb kept looking behind. He was getting tired being watchman, because perhaps a evil murder was good enough to last. Uplina suddenly stopped when she spotted something flashing on one side of the road. It seemed to be, "What can take crumbs, please?" It was from a car wreck that had been in the desert for 10 months. The piece of it was good enough to be installed.
Two crumb rest.
Stuck to the inner front, it was. Then we continued again. It was past midnight when we got to Reach's speech, finding the next suburb, but stopped to use one of the cans to fill up the tank. If we use the gas from this station, we would need it paid. Icarus thought ahead to try this, but stopped himself as we already got the cans. "There's rubbish we can eat." "Oh, hang on. We can't. I forgot there's some kids with people called a border. We don't want to be messed with from them. We just need to scare them," said he. "Precisely. We don't want to be delayed," said Upina. "Can I eat the US money? There's Aussie money we can use to pay for petrol," said Crumb. "Good thinking. We're not visiting the bank," said Upina.
I can fill this up.
We started off again. At last, we reached the suburb, Whistleton. We could see the line within it, and everything, like in Richard's speech, was quiet, except the wind blew gently above their heads. While we headed to the track, we, after crossing to the left side, heard a faint noise behind them, which made their eyes open wide. We could hear a siren that was faint. Not wishing to it, we started following the track, running away from the suburb towards a mine. The sand from the back wheels went flying from underneath them, creating a foggy smog to stop whatever was to find them. We were halfway, stopping to get fresh air before continuing the mile stretch. We did come to realization that their car would be recognizable because of the number plate. That was what would worry them. We can scare people, but the car would be too. Perishing the thought, we sped off again. Crumb managed to see. "Guys, we'd better flee. It's that police car that we lost in Gumbisha." "There's the tunnel. We can hide through it," said Icarus. In we went, and at the inner end we spotted the buffers, that were reaching. Tina thought they were to crash because there was a suction grabbing their car. There was none of it. They were finding themselves in a void, not wet and dirty, but dark and clean. So they arrived in a woodland. They saw the harbour, wondering if it was like San Francisco. To their surprise, they were in a different harbour, with bridge and with tape. They saw the route to cheap, but there were some guards who were checking people when arriving. The monsters thought of a better way to leave the wharf. They could drive to another key that was next to our house. Look, another cheap track. We can use that to leave the wharf, said Tina. Let's use it while looking for another cheap needing a turn, said Nicholas. There's one that arrived before us, said Crumb. Oh, bummer. It's blocked the exit. You what to do? We can scare them, Tina suggested. So they got onto the wharf, getting in line with the cars. As soon as we reached the border, Keith, and the guards began checking, they began spooking them with a roar. Greetings, or is it good day? Ah! Screamed the guards. They managed to get through the gate and sped away from the wharf. That's got them distracted. Let's find a number plate, or switch cars. I heard there were bug ones called, flute speakers. I saw one before I got my foot crushed, said Nicholas. Go right, sir. We will find the menu, said Crumb. There's a dump in this suburb on the map called Glenorchy. We call it the Tip. Let's switch answers when getting there, suggested Upina. After a number of kilometers, we arrived at a river beach we never saw. It wasn't high like the one in San Francisco, but we weren't bothered with the difference. We had to find Glenorchy's Tip before finding where we would sleep in. Like the suburb, of market. Icarus mentioned to Upina that people drive on the left, which she understood when we entered Liverpool. But it is the tip to switch cars, observed Crumb. A gate was open to the wide dumping hall. Quickly, we shot through it, and then began looking for what Icarus suggested. We two have to look. There's a shed with a car inside. Oh. Yes! That's got the foreman losing his pants. Inside the shed was indeed another car, a classic Beetle, but it needed maintenance to be entered. The front and back lights, meeting the tires, to their surprise, apart from looking at its old stick, when one of them turned the key, Upina did when she was the tallest, the back engine started. They hit the menu and got themselves in the second car, continuing their arrival journey to find Marky. But a problem struck them again. The gate was shut, preventing them to escape. Oh! Now what? Said Icarus. There's another way to escape. There's a hill to that gorge. I wonder what's in it, said Upina. Hit it quickly. There's a television crew coming, or Crumb. Wandering away from the crew, we climbed an upper road, reaching a hole. What was in it was a quarry. It looked ideal for their escape. Quickly and quietly we entered it and went looking for their getaway route. So we reached the city. This time, like in America, we coped with the traffic, finding the next hidden route in the woodland of Fir Tree. Once reaching it, we stopped to rest, feeling hungry. Parking amongst the trees, face first to see if anyone would find them, Icarus decided to fetch the rubbish from a tavern nearby. He came back with the jackpot. Dig in. We can keep it in the boot, said he. While we ate, we listened to the woodland, as well as looking at the route in the left direction. A sudden speck filled up the area. Uh-oh, someone's coming, said Upina. That looks like a van. False alarm. It's the same red one I saw back in Lawndale. America's been talking about it visiting Sesame Street, exclaimed Icarus. Let's go, Uh, oh, there's another van, a black one. I don't think we should see it. Black vans are the hunting colour. Let's wait for it to stop its engine, said Crumb. So we waited. The van stopped, turning off its engine. Seeing the chart, we quickly left the wood, climbing on the bow hill, losing the sight of the black circle. It took them to a bridge that was not big enough for two vehicles that want to cross it. We were aware that woodlands can be good places to hide, even when there would be animals living in it. Staying with you was the motto. Again, we listened when parked on one side from a noise. There was whoop noise of the black van. Perhaps the driver didn't see them and the beetle. It came to thought that when stopping, staying off route was easy to manipulate stalkers, maybe the police, and what better way to hide the beetle was putting grass on it or fallen leaves. None of them would happen. The rest of the drive was quiet. But would we to another scare? Yes, we would, for we saw the house up a hill. We thought we could have a look. You Ickes, look who's from Glenorchy. The same foreman who scared off. I do think the house is to be visited from us, said Upina. I think we got another hunter when you mentioned it, not to be visited. We just ran into him, and he might, the three of them said in one voice. Hunt us and put us on the telly? Having said this, we left the woodland, crossing the bridge. The rest of the drive went well. There were less delays. Obviously, it took anyone hunting the beetle. The menu was what we were hunting, but we need to time the car to let things calm. Scaring was hard, but not when hiding it in one other's property. We entered my suburb called Kingston. The one thing we wanted to see was where I lived, for we'd never seen it before, let alone need to type the beetle. It just before we left America, invented a remote device, not for your telly, but to think, which can block your train of thought. If we run into who lives there, we'd scare him, said he. And find the toilet too, added Crumb. We've already stopped her, so we can shrink the beetle to pocket size. Let's see if we can find that house at the end of this street, said Upina. Yet, did she have a hint that the few of them would run into someone else besides me?